So now I want to move on to Dhruva. So Dhruva, like Sachit and Vashni, is yet another member of the Team India alumni that keeps giving back to the team year after year. He represented India 3 times from 2011 to 2013, in which year he won the 6th Best ESL Speaker Award in 2013. That was weird. He went on then to debate at Harvard University. In those 4 years, he's won many prestigious intercollegiate tournaments, such as the Yale Ivy and the HWS Ivy. And on top of this, in 2017, he was the 7th best speaker in the World Universities Debating Championship, which is the university equivalent of the World Schools Debating Championship. Having graduated from Harvard with a degree in economics, he's currently a Rhodes Scholar at the University of Oxford. Dhruva co-coached the ISDS team that I was lucky to be a part of to a victory at the Asian World Schools Debating Championship in 2016 in his very first time coaching. Since then, he's been a co-coach of the 2017 and obviously the 2018 Indian teams. I want to call him up now to give a speech.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that generous introduction. I wanted to talk about something that I've often heard when I talk about debating, which is who is judging these rounds and how is it judged? Do you have professional judges with beards and robes and wigs sitting there and judging us? And the answer is honestly no, because World Schools is a special style that doesn't care about jargon, doesn't care about the high technicalities. Rather, it's supposed to be teaching students how to be persuasive speakers who can speak to regular people like you and me. And so that's who's judging these rounds as well. People like you and me, teachers, parents, university students, alumni debaters, people who've been around debating for a really long time. So all of these people have been trained to judge debates based on 3 criteria, which are content, style, and strategy. I'll briefly touch on all 3 of these so that you have a sense of what these rounds are like and how these rounds are judged, and also so that you can better appreciate the little things that the debaters do when they speak to you next. So 3 things. The first is content, which is what are you saying? What are the arguments you're making? What examples do you use? What analogies or comparisons do you draw? But it goes beyond that, because debating isn't just a monologue, right? Debating is also about listening to the other side and being able to respond. So an important part of content is also rebuttal or responding to what the other side has to say. So that's the first large and important part of debating and judging, which is content. The second big thing is style, and that's how do you say what you're saying. Coming as we do from the city of Rajinikanth, we might think we know what style is, but it's actually a lot deeper than what we usually associate with it. Obviously, it's eye contact, it's tone, volume, speed, emotion, all of those things that we usually associate with style. But something that I actually learned from Saika and that we've been training in our kids for years now, is it's beyond just those things. It's also the words you choose, how you choose to phrase the sentences that you make in the way that it's most appropriate. How do you use language that's interesting, that's mocking, that's angry, that's sarcastic, based on what the context asks for. So carefully choosing your words and thinking really rigorously about the English language and how best to phrase what you say is also an important part of style. And the final part of judging is strategy. And that's, you've done what you say and how you say it. Strategy is why are you saying what you say? Because by the time students have gone through years of training, you give them a topic and they can come up with 20 arguments for either side of the motion. But not all of those arguments are equally important. Not all of those arguments make sense. In fact, some of those arguments may contradict each other. And in a debate, you might come in with a specific argument that you think is important, but the other side might agree with that and say, no, the debate is about something else entirely. So how do you then use strategy to prioritize your arguments, choose what to focus on, both in the preparation room as well as during the debate, and which arguments you're going to drill down on? That's what strategy is about, and that forms the third and crucial part of judging a debate. So these 3 aspects, when they come together, as they will come together in the speeches that our debaters are going to give you, will give you an amazing speech. But what I've recognized through my years at university, applying to fellowships and scholarships, going on to do a master's degree, is that these 3 things aren't just important for debates. They're important for real life as well. They're important when you're sitting down in an exam and you have a limited amount of time and you need to really strategically think, which topics am I going to cover and which arguments am I going to make in these answers? They're important in job interviews when you have to really quickly come up with content and respond to questions that are unexpected and that are hard to answer. And they're important in everyday conversations when you sit down with someone that you disagree with and you need to persuade them of your opinion about why you're voting for a particular political party, about why you're religious or you're not religious, or why any of the other multitude of complex and difficult topics that we have to deal with in our everyday lives. So these three things, content, style, and strategy, become a mantra in our debaters' heads that not just affects the way that they debate, but the way that we really live our lives. And I think that's been such an important part of both judging and debating. Just wanted to leave you with that.